Okay, you guys, so these are percent problems, and this is the one time or one of the few times where we're going to need a calculator. So when we calculate percentages, we're going to get decimals, and I'm going to completely allow you to use a calculator. It'll make things a lot easier. Plus, we're going to be dealing with some pretty big numbers. So percent, first off, we need to know what that means, and it literally means divide by 100. So per, you see this a lot like in miles per hour or any kind of rate. Per literally means divide, and cent, well, cent is another word for 100. So percent is literally divide by 100, okay? And we can represent percent as a proportion. So we have this thing right here. We have A over B equals P over 100. And we also have percent, we have an equation for percent. So the percent equation is A equals P percentage times B, okay? And A and B will always be numbers, so will P, but basically every problem we're going to be dealing with, you can solve with this equation or this equation. In fact, you could use either or, whichever one you like. Since we just solve proportions, it'd probably be pretty simple if you use this one. But if you like this one, you can use this one as well. And I'm going to use both, okay? So basically, you're going to come across three types of problems. First one is we're going to have one for problems that where you're asked to find the percent. And it could look something like this. It says what percentage of B is A, and B and A, again, they're not going to be variables, they're going to be numbers, but I'm just trying to show you a general idea of what the problem will look like. Okay, so again, the second type will be find the part, and this question will look something like this, where it says what number is, and then it'll give a percentage of B, and B again will be a number. Okay, and the last type will be find the base, and basically I mean by base is that's going to be your B, so it's going to be asking to find the B. So A is some percentage of what number, and if you notice something, of B, and of what number. Well, this is the type of problem where you're trying to find B, and these types of problems, they give you B. So this is kind of your key. Whenever you see of and then a number, you know that that number is going to be your base, okay? And since we're trying to find the base here, it's asking what number is the base. So this is your key again. So of B tells you what B is. What percentage? Well, then that means I know I'm trying to find P. And what number is a percentage of B? Well, I have the percentage and I have B. That means I'm probably solving for A. Okay? So this is kind of your key. Let's take a look at some problems. Let's see how we can do these. So 38 is what percentage of 141? So again, of 141, I know that is my B. And 38 is not a percentage, it says is what percent. So I know if I'm using this formula here, I know my A is 38, I know my B is 141, and I'm going to set that equal to the percentage of something I don't know, and I'm going to set it over 100. So again, this is something where we can cross multiply. I get 141p equals 3800. Again, we're dealing with really big numbers here, so I'm going to go ahead and use my calculator. I'm going to divide that by 141. I get the percentage, which is going to equal, and let's type it in real quick, 3800 divided by 141. That equals 26.95. Okay, and there's our percentage right there. So we found the percentage. We are done. Okay, these problems move pretty quick, especially with the calculator, but we just need to be able to take the sentences and interpret what they're saying. So what is 94% of 33? 94%, so I know I have my P, and I have of 33. Again, anytime a number follows of, we know that's our base, right? So instead, I'm going to use this formula. So we have the percentage, that's right here. This is our percentage, 94%, and we have our B, which is 33. So I know that A is what I'm trying to solve for. A is 94% times 33. And in order to do these problems, the first thing we have to do is we have to convert, if we're going to use this formula, we have to convert this percentage into a decimal. And that's always easy. Whenever you convert a percentage into a decimal, all you're doing is the decimal point's right here, you're going to move it over 2. So the actual equation we get is 0.94 times 33 equals A. And again, this is real simple. You can think of it as 0.94, but I'm just going to plug it into my calculator. 0.94 times 33 equals, and I get A equals 31.02. So let's see if you can see that. So I know that, oops, this is not percentage, went too fast there. This is my part. So there is what I needed to find. I needed to solve for A. Okay, let's try one more. In this case, we already solved for percentage. This one we solved for the part. So the last one we are going to solve for is our base. So if you look at the question, it says 65%. So we know we have the percentage, that's our P, of what? Well, again, if it's of whatever follows it is our B, that's what we're trying to solve for here because we don't know, is 52. Well then, if it's 52, that should be our A. So again, I'm going to use my formula, A equals percentage times B. A is 52, and that equals 65% times B. And again, we don't know what B is. All we have to do is solve for it. So again, 65%, I need to convert that first. So 52 equals 0.65 times B. How do I get B by itself? Well, I need to divide by that 0.65, right? So if I divide both by 0.65, this becomes just B, because the 0.65 and the 0.65 become 1. 52 divided by 0.65 again, a situation where it's just best to use a calculator. And in this case, I get 80. And again, I want to use percent, because since we're doing percentage, I keep trying to do percentage. But again, this is my base, so it's not percent. Percent was already used. This is our base. This is the number that it's out of. Okay? So B equals 80, and we are done. So again, 3 types of problems. One where you're trying to find the part, which is A. One where you're trying to find the percentage, which is P. And one where you're trying to find the base, which is the total number. That's, and in this case, it's 80. So this has been problems with percents.